tell me something, Cambridge. Do you like experimental music? Do you want to hear something a little avant-garde? Pasadena, mouthful of hemlock, got spring all the time now. Rest tired ankles in riding the hours. Music for foxes, yeah, riding the hours. Thanks.
But we have this problem. You know, everybody here is aware of what's happening in the world and is aware of climate collapse and everything that's happening. You know, for youth, for young people, this is on your mind like all the time, and it's creating a lot of impact on you. And we believe that until we can get non-native people to listen to indigenous peoples, there is not going to be a solution that's found to this. So we say, you need to center indigenous peoples, you need to give the land back to us, control of the land back to us, because we are the caretakers of the land, and we know how to do things right. And we all, and personally, not everybody's saying this, but personally I say, there's no way there's going to be a solution to what's going on with climate justice. There'll be no, we cannot achieve climate justice unless we get rid of capitalism. I've had people be like, oh, you're not wearing buckskin when you came here. It's like, you know, oh, do you live in a teepee still? Things like that. And, you know, we're really trying to combat the ignorance and bring our voices forward and bring our militant voices forward. And to give hope, because, you know, we come from an amazing resistance. Our resistance has been going on for more than 500 years. And we want to share that message, because I know it's so easy to like feel hopeless or give up. And you know what? Keep resisting. Don't give up. Don't do that no matter what, you know? So National Day of Mourning is actually on that Thanksgiving Thursday. Shamsi's been there, maybe a couple of other people in the room might have been there. Everybody is welcome. We only have indigenous people speaking, but we welcome everybody to come and be with us on that day. And we have indigenous voices from all over speaking about different struggles that are going on now, in addition to talking about some of the history. So there's flyers on the table, but it's easy to remember, actually. You're going to go to Plymouth. And you're going to go to Plymouth Rock. All right? Every tourist can find Plymouth Rock, so please don't ask me for directions. I'm sure. So when you go to Plymouth Rock, you're going to turn around and put your back to the water. And you're going to look up and there's a hill there. And we're up on the hill. And we're there at 12 noon on Thanksgiving Day. And we'd love to have all of you come and join us. Thank you so much again.
there's two parts to Sheer Career Fest. The first part is that we pick an organization or a charity or a fundraiser or nonprofit, anywhere that needs money to be donated and for awareness to be spread. Like none of the funds go to us. Like we're not making money off of this. Everything goes towards bands traveling, and they go towards the organizations that we pick to donate money for. The second part is to create a safe space for queer people to just be themselves. Like tonight, it's been amazing to see such a diverse group of people, like of all gender expressions and sexualities and like races too. And like it's incredible, and that's what we like put this fest on for too, as well as for the queer community in Boston, to give them like a space in the punk and hardcore scene that's not cis het white mask. I don't like that.
Yeah, and really it's also like a celebration of heavy as fuck music, because at least my feeling has been that queercore tends to be viewed as, or kind of pigeonholed as, like soft and twinkly, which is fine and good, and like I'm glad that exists, but that type of queercore has a lot of easier access to show spaces and basements and things like that, and heavier queers tend to not have an easy time to find gigs, especially here in Boston when there's no fucking basements anymore. So we're trying to reclaim some space and let people be angry as fuck, to slam around and get all sweaty, and be happy about it and not feel like they're being judged because they don't have enough fucking spikes or like don't listen to the right band. So yeah, that's what Sheer Queer is to us.
Oh my god, tonight was, well, it was like to raise awareness for Ewing, which is the United American Indians of New England. They are an indigenous organization that does a lot of activist work in North America, and they also do work in South America as well. They're responsible for National Day of Mourning, which is on Thanksgiving, and they also are working towards bringing Indigenous Peoples Day to Massachusetts. So a large part of it is to for them, and the second part is also to celebrate queerness and celebrate queer and trans voices and in heavy music, as we were saying.
Yeah.
And what's going on tomorrow?
Even more
heavy music. Even more bands traveling from all over. We're gonna have wrestling tomorrow. Blow, Boston League of Wicked Wrestlers. They're gonna be coming in to do some wrestling with us as well.
Then some awesome vendors, and some more angry, sweaty queers being angry and sweaty together and smiling the whole time.
Yeah, I really saw people get comfortable in their skin tonight. People coming in and truly expressing themselves, and some shirts were flying off in the pit, no matter who you are, and we all got sweaty and threw down, and it was magical.
And no one got hurt.
Yeah, no one got hurt. We all looked out for each other.
What a thing when you respect each other.
Yeah, imagine that.
passengers. The next Red Line train to Ashmont is now arriving.
You have to stay because this gig is a fucking ripper.
We're at Trixies Palace. It's a house where people live, and we have shows here because we like shows. Show houses are always valuable no matter where, just because it's a place where you don't have to worry about like not having enough money to, or ideally not having enough money to go to a show, or just like not really knowing that much about like people, or just like feeling comfortable at shows. I feel like going to a house show is always a feeling of like I'll probably meet someone there who's like, I don't know, I just feel like it's a place where you can like kind of feel a little bit more like you're at like someone's house or just chilling, or it's just like much more casual of a place to see a show than maybe a bar or like a typical venue. I don't know, I feel like Boston is very like college scene oriented, and I feel like we're all like out of college and like a little older than, like I'm 25, like people are like around that age, like 25 to 28-ish who live here. Like we like to host shows that we're like really stoked to see, and I feel like it's just like a good place. I like living here, everyone's nice. It's been very weirdly okay with cops. The precinct is like right there. They've come like 3 or 4 times. One time they were like, they came into the house. That was only once they came into the house. But we talk to our neighbors. I think that's an important thing. Some of them come to shows, a lot of them don't. We don't really know them as much now since the new year. I don't know who called the cops last time. We think it was our next door neighbor, but he's really nice. He's just kind of like not really into music anymore, I don't think. He doesn't ever come to shows. Space Camp is played tonight, Rod is played tonight, Ouroboros played tonight, and Edge Pellegrin played tonight. It's one of the cooler bills I've seen in a while. I feel like every band on this bill is like pretty important to Boston right now. I don't really know what Boston's music identity really is even anymore. That's what I want to see more of in Boston, is just people like screaming and sweating.
Everybody come back.
I take pictures at gigs, mostly live pictures. Sometimes I'll do portraits of bands, but yeah. I think when I started hearing from bands that I was shooting and just people that were at shows that I said a lot about how they like appreciated the pictures and just kind of like that someone was documenting what was going on, then it kind of became in my mind something a bit more important. So I think there's still a level of importance that like it definitely means something different to everyone that like gets to experience pictures and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that on my end, like kind of keeping track of like what I'm up to and what I think is really cool, and a lot of artists that I think people deserve to know look really cool and that sort of stuff. So I definitely, there's like a lot of behind the scenes stuff in music and like in the scene in general that I don't have an understanding about that other people do, like from being part of the scene. So one example is I've gotten I think like 3 different people that aren't really from Boston that just found my Instagram for somehow or whatever, have DM'd me asking about like booking shows in Boston, like how can I like get a show in Boston? I want to play like on a DIY spot, and I'm like I really have like zero idea how booking works anywhere and how shows actually get set up and all that. I just like show up and take pictures. So that part, like I'm not like there with people like practicing, like I don't know how much every band practices and like where they practice and how to book shows and like all that sort of stuff that comes with being a musician. Like I'll think about it intentionally, like a little bit about like the stuff I want to cover, but I think just ultimately I'll just go to whatever I want to go to and then shoot whatever I'm at, kind of a thing. So I don't really have, like I think I have like not like an active like written or like kept track of list, but there's like a lot of bands that I want to see, and they're not even like just like, oh man, like I want to see like bucket list sort of stuff, like oh I really want to see like some giant act before they break up or something like that. It's like a lot of like I want to see like Soul Glow really bad, so I'll go to a ton of shows because I like on bills there's going to be people that I haven't seen yet that I've been looking forward to seeing, or like just hearing about them through other people. So I think that's part of why I just end up at like so many shows. And like I mean even people that I've seen a million times before, I love seeing them, especially people that have like new stuff that's not out yet. I think photographing is fun. I think it's also it's kind of like an interesting thing perspective wise too, because a lot of concert photography stuff, if you look up online like how to be a concert photographer, like I want to get into like music photography and that sort of stuff, a lot of the information you find is like oh like how to get a photo pass and like reach out to bands and like that sort of stuff, which is like all valuable information, but I think that's something that is super overlooked when it comes to shooting music, is that like knowing what's happening locally is like a super big part of it, like knowing like what the venues are like before you get there, like what the lighting's gonna be like, or like what the space is like. Like I'll usually not try and stand front and center if the place doesn't have a stage, or if the stage isn't that high, because I'm like 6 feet tall. Yeah, just like learning a lot about your venues and what happens where, I think is a super important part of it. And just learning to be like mindful of what's happening in the space while you're there too.
Hey, welcome to the Cloud Club. It's a very big and loose concept. It's 2 brownstone buildings in the south end, owned by this wacky 70-something-year-old outsider artist guy, and then he rents out residencies for certain artists for cheaper than usual so they can focus on their shit, and then we kind of do what we feel we gotta do. I make music and sometimes visual arts, and currently the thing I'm doing mostly is using the venue space as kind of a canvas for hosting, producing mostly ambient shows, because we don't have a lot of that going on in this town. Typically, the shows happen at 225, which is the building next door, and then most of the people live in this building because it's more livable. And then we have a rehearsal space in the basement, usually just a rehearsal space. But tonight, we're changing the game, we're flipping the script, and we're gonna have a big old night of music here. We have the Edge Pedal Burn Experience, fronted by Olivia West. And we have on tour from Baltimore, Natural Velvet. I can't wait to see how they do live. I'm very excited. I assume they're amazing.
Natural Velv?
Velv? Volv?
No, I just said.
And then we have Rogozo. Also fronted by another great person, Cayman, and mixed in with a bunch of other great friendos. Please show love with your money. We have a donation star at that front door right there, so if you haven't donated. We also accept Venmo, so no excuses. And yeah, give it up for this final act for Gozo from Boston, Massachusetts.
Thank